It is 9:21. It's time to talk Colts. It took overtime, but the Colts beat the Jacksonville Jaguars at Lucas Oil Stadium on Sunday to finish the season at 8-9. It's the end of the season, but it doesn't look like to be the end of an era as questions linger about the team and the future. Colts owner Jim Irsay penned a letter to Colts fans Sunday night. I woke up to it early. Heather Lloyd is here. She braved the out. Thanks for coming in, by the way, in all the snow. No victory blazer today. That is now retired for another 8 months, right?
You know, we're going to take a break from the victory blazer. Okay. First of all, we're not celebrating today. No one is celebrating today. We're not celebrating mediocrity. I'm going to put my foot down. Today is a funeral for the 2024 season, and this team has left us with very little to celebrate. A meaningless game between two bad teams. That's what yesterday was. Remember when a meaningless game meant the Colts had already won the division and secured a bye week in the playoffs? The only thing either of these teams had to play for on Sunday was a draft pick. It wasn't a sold-out crowd. In fact, at times it was barely even a crowd. Wow. But with Anthony Richardson still nursing a back issue, it was Joe Flacco starting at quarterback, and like so many games this season, it was close. It came down to one score. Jonathan Taylor had over 100 yards rushing. Matt Gay missed a 50-yard field goal. But this one, the Colts won 26-23. And that is really the story of the 2024 Indianapolis Colts. Yesterday was no exception.
Wow. I'll be honest with you, I didn't watch the game.
You missed very
I had other things going on, with the snow. So, but as we head into the off season, the Colts have some decisions to make, perhaps.
A couple.
And Jim Irsay kind of clarified where he stands on some of them tonight.
He sure did. Yeah. After finishing the season 8-9 and missing the playoffs for a fourth consecutive year, by the way, their longest drought in 30 years. The Colts are one of the teams with a lot to contemplate on this Black Monday. But a letter from Jim Irsay published last night answered some of the biggest questions for fans. Irsay talked about his disappointment and the high standard for anyone who steps on the field wearing the horseshoe. The expectation, he said, is to win the division and compete for a championship. I know you share my impatience and frustration. I know you invest your time, energy, and money into the Colts every year. More than anything, we want to reward you with division titles and playoff runs, and we've fallen short in the most painful ways possible. Irsay went on to say that things evolve quickly in the NFL and that he believes in Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen and their collective ability to make the improvements needed to take us to the next level in 2025. He also acknowledged that many fans may want immediate change and that they'll be disappointed. That also means we have a lot to prove, so we'll get back to work and keep doing what we can to earn your support and make you proud to be a Colts fan.
That'll get tongues a-wagging.
Thoughts?
I can see you editing yourself.
We have thoughts, but we can't utter them on daytime television.
There's a lot of speechless fans this morning.
I will say this, and maybe I'll ask you this question before Scott asks. Were you shocked how quickly that Mr. Irsay sent that out?
Yes, and I think what that tells you is his mind was made up. I mean, clearly before the game, right?
Right.
Pat McAfee, by the way, had thoughts.
Of course he did.
He's got a lot of thoughts.
It'd be weird if he didn't.
Pat McAfee weighed in. It's all gonna go great.
Oh, wow.
And I'm sure, like me, you read that in your head with a touch of sarcasm, right?
No. That was sarcasm.
It's all gonna go great.
Some things have to change. Whether it's the same personnel doing it differently or different personnel, defense is problematic.
Yeah, surely you would think, right? There are still questions on this team, mainly around defensive coordinator Gus Bradley. The Colts have the most missed tackles in the NFL this season. That is not a record you want to own.
Nope.
Then there's Anthony Richardson. 2 years in, his accuracy is less than 50%, and so is his availability. Richardson has missed games for a variety of reasons and different injuries. He was also benched for conduct. I don't see Gus Bradley coming back, and if they do continue with Richardson, they're going to have to bring in a quarterback to challenge him to start. If I were the Colts, I would actually go into next season basically with no presumed starter and make them battle it out in training camp. So make someone earn that job.
Heather, right now, my Eagles jerseys are on standby. Hopefully we will hear some changes sometime soon so that I can bring the Colts gear back out.
I don't blame you. I mean, it's a tough time to be a Colts fan, and we've been saying that for years. That's the crazy thing, right? I mean, I think right now a lot of people are just shocked. And I think that's how a lot of us felt. And you know, it's a matter of, hey, it's Irsay's team, right? He can make the decisions that he wants.
That's right.
Usually we'll have some kind of an end of season press conference by Chris Ballard this week. He's going to have to answer a lot of questions. A lot of those questions are going to be directed at him.
Yep.
And I kind of feel like I need to help him out a little this year. So let me
Yes.
tell you
Here
a
we
few
go.
of the things I don't want to hear today.
General Manager Heather Lloyd says.
Yes.
Number one, we're close. You're not close. Joe Flacco even acknowledged that yesterday. This team beat bad teams, lost to good teams, won when it didn't matter, and lost when it did. The only thing you're close to is securing a top draft pick. Number two, I don't want to hear it's on me. Obviously, it's on you. It's certainly not on me. It's not on Marcus.
No,
it's not on the
kinda.
fans who showed up to your games and did their part. It's actually condescending to say it's on me because it implies that there's a world where it's not on you, and that world doesn't exist. And last, we have to do better. We know. We watched your games. I watched every play of every game this year, and I feel like I deserve a medal. So you say things,
you do.
you say you need to get better. Instead of telling us you need to get better, tell us how you plan to get better.
There you go.
Right?
I don't
Yes.
know. The part where you said it's on me, something is on them. It's egg. Egg is all over their faces right now after this shameful season.
Again,
it's so bad.
There's a losing stench on them. There's a losing culture on them. You know what I would like to see actually before they even do make any big changes? I would love to see the Colts bring in a director of football operations.
Yeah.
A president of football to oversee everything. I would want it to be someone who knows what a winning culture is, maybe even someone who's been a part of the Colts winning culture in the past. But I just think they need someone in there to control the culture, and everything flows down through that person. Anyone in mind?
Peyton Manning.
I mean, he
Heather
was on
Lloyd.
the field when the
Heather Lloyd.
Broncos played yesterday.
Hello.
I would be interested in that job.
I bet you would.
I think I could instill a culture in there.
Can we end on a positive note?
Yes.
Heather, it was so good to have you
Yes.
back.
You guys, it was wonderful.
Yes.
All right.
Every Monday, I think to myself, I have like 6 or 7 minutes to just go spout off about my team. on television, and that is something I do not take for granted.
Right.
And the fact that you guys have given me that opportunity and continue to is just humbling to
Right.
me and the people that watch. And you know, I hope we can make you feel a little better, or at least voice
make me feel
what
better.
you feel. Maybe we can't make you feel better right now.
A good
but we can
rant
speak
sometimes is
for
all we
you,
need.
hopefully.
We appreciate
So,
you. Thank you,
I always
Heather.
feel better afterwards.
I do
so.
too.
Yes.
I do too. Thank you,
Thanks for
Heather.
having me
Always
again.
lovely to have you. Hopefully we'll see you next
a
season.
pleasure.
Hopefully things will turn around. All right, 9:28. We are still under that weather alert. Much more daybreak after the break.